I'm Desiree at LC in the Barn. So today we're doing all the newbies because we had a local auction on Saturday. So they're getting their dental done, vaccination shots, and then they're gonna get their feet done so we could get them going. Ryan already started working with them, I think 4 of them. Everything is going a good path, but once they get everything done with their teeth done, get them floated, and then we'll slowly like rehab or start work assessing into them.
Good morning, I'm Dr. Lucas here at All Seated in a Barn. The first horse you saw us working on was a lameness exam. We did some x-rays to see the extent of the injuries and the pathology there so we can go ahead and get the best plan for her. We just finished our first dental, major points, hook, got them all taken care of, and he's gonna be a new boy.
Hi, I'm Walker Reynolds. I'm the farrier out at All Seated in the Barn. Today we worked on Miss Sunshine, and Miss Sunshine's got some really crooked legs. It causes the coffin bone to sit crooked in the foot, and she wants to sink medially and back. So today we put some little full extensions on her with a little medial extension on the left front, and then heel extensions just to keep her stood upright. And then on the right front, it's pretty balanced medial lateral. So we just did a heel extension on that one, and hopefully she does a lot better.
Hi, my name's Sabrina. I'm just here hanging out the horses, and we're from Pat Point. My favorite horses, Adam, Massey, and Shoeshine. I want to learn how to get a job here. I want to take care of the horses, how to ride them and treat them good. Just like to ride with them one of these days when my parents let us come out here. Well, I like to groom and sweep them and how to take care of the horse with the water and the plants and feed them the water, to give them treats.
This is Royal. He was an untouched, unhandled Mustang as of August 2023. He was one of the 3 Stallion Mustangs Talia rescued from a reservation. A lot of the work he had in him thus far, some of our team in Texas and even Arizona had worked with him. He made his way to California, and now we've actually sat on this horse for the first time. I was the first person to sit on him. That was, a few days ago. Now what we're going to start doing is introducing the bit to him. This is the first time on camera we'll have tried this. So let's see how it goes. He's pretty well-minded, so I don't anticipate any major issues. Okay, he's not biting my finger. That's a good sign. The bit and the halter are in. Now, let's make sure he can't get his tongue up and over it. So the bit and the bridle and the reins are now on the horse. I'm gonna fix the reins where they won't bounce up over his head. So the first step I wanna go through is I just want him to move around with this new contraption on him. Being the reins, the bit, and the bridle and all this is all new to him. And you can see he's thinking through it. He's trying to figure out what's this thing you just put on me? I'm gonna ask him now to move around the round pen. We'll get him to walk, trot, maybe we'll get him to canter, lope with this new gear on him. Then we'll come back here to this spot and we'll work on what's called flexion. And I'll talk you through what I'm looking for him to do as I start to pull on the reins and what his try and what his give actually looks like. So let's move him around a little bit. He's looking pretty good, his eyes are soft. And notice his mouth. Okay, wow. He's not moving his mouth, he's not moving with his mouth open, playing with the bit. I'm really surprised. First time he's had a bit in his mouth. Part of this could be that he simply doesn't know what it is, and the next time we do it, maybe he wants to play with the bit a little bit. So what he's feeling new right now is not only this piece of metal in his mouth, a new strap behind his ears, and now he has my yacht reins bouncing across his neck. These are all new feels that we want him to get used to before we get on him and we start using our hands and manipulating that piece of metal in his mouth. It's not so much the piece of metal that hurts him. The piece of metal hanging in his mouth will never hurt him. It's our hands, and the way we use our hands with that tool called the bit is what can hurt the horse. The goal is to always use soft and light hands, not loud and busy or heavy hands. So you can see so far, he's really handling this business pretty good. We've desensitized him to where the lead lines and the lead ropes and all that doesn't bother him, but this is something new. What we're gonna work on now is seeing, again, this is his first time. I don't know how this is gonna go, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask him to give to the bit. A couple things can happen. Number one, as I pull the reins, and I stand here, he may start to spin in a circle. And I'm gonna hold as best I can. I'm gonna hold him firm here until he stops moving his feet. Once he stops moving his feet, then I'll let him have his nose back. Number two, what we're looking for is for him simply to stand still, give his nose to me, and I'm gonna hold it. And what I'm looking for him to do is to simply give that much, and then I'll let it go. I want him to give to my pressure and submit to my ask. Pull the nose, hold it, he gives, and I let go. I give it back to him immediately. Quicker you give it back, the sooner he gets his reward, and that's what we're looking for. So let's try it here. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and just keep that up there, just in case he does get nervous and wanna take off. It doesn't get caught coming up over his head into his feet, and then it gets him in a train wreck, and it will also tear up your tack. So I gently start to pull. He's coming with me, come on. Now my idea is to hold it here and to watch him give. If he does not give, then I'll pull him just a little bit and let him relax. What this exercise does, it's called horizontal flexion. It will encourage him to become softer and more supple. Soft meaning how much pressure does it take to pull the nose. Supple meaning how far back will he take the nose. Soften the horse up a little bit. And we're not doing it by yanking on his face. There, he's a lot better that time. Okay, he's thinking about it. He's pulling against it. I don't want him to pull to his right. I want him to come to his left to me. There. He gave me, I don't know if you'll see that on the camera, but he gave me just about a centimeter where I could feel a relax in the tension of the rein, and then I give it back to him. Let's do it again, then we'll go to the other side. Come on, Pops, give it to me. No? There you go. One of the keys to this is I always stand close to the horse. I don't want to stand far away. So I try to stand close and I kind of hug the back of my saddle. If he starts to swing his hips around and move his feet, at least I have this to kind of hang on to and hold on. As long as he doesn't run off or bolt off, I can walk and spin in a circle, and I start using the key word ho, ho, ho. Once he stops moving his feet, I let him have his nose. Again, that's what can happen, number one. Number two is that he does it right. He keeps his feet still and he gives to our ask. Now we hold it there. There. He's given just enough. I mean, that was actually better than the other side. Okay, so he's gonna move his feet. I'm gonna hold it and I'm gonna start walking with him. I don't wanna get excited. There, just a little bit. Okay, ask him for a little more this time. He's handling it really well. He's pulling against it. There. I mean, he's moving maybe this much, but he's trying. He doesn't understand yet that I want him to actually give really strong. He's given me just enough to say, you're trying, and I reward him for it. Can you feel it in his muscles when he's pulling against the bit? And yes, you can. You can feel the tension in the horse, but you can also feel him bracing against. Watch this. You'll feel him when he's bracing, he's not giving, he's not soft, he'll actually pull his head back to his left. And you feel that. You'll feel that in the rein, you'll feel that in your hand. You can also see it in your horse's eyes and watch his ears. He's trying to figure it out. What he's learning is how to get off the pressure. Okay, but look at my hands. I'm staying with him and I am not slipping the rein and I am not moving. You'll see that on the video where it says, okay, you're working, you're being soft. What we're trying to do here is demonstrate on the ground with this horse that while we manipulate the reins and the bit, if you learn to give, I will give back. That's the goal. It's not to say that you can't get in the saddle and teach him this. You can't, but it's much better. Untrained, untouched Mustang 8 months, 9 months ago, or any horse for that matter. It's always safer to teach them on the ground what you can before you get in the saddle. You try to teach them and it goes haywire. That makes a bad day for you and them, and we don't want that. Teach the horse that, hey, I'm gonna ask you right here, you're gonna give it to me. When you do, I let go. That's the goal. He'll learn to give and you'll give back. A lot of times you'll see horses that you'll ask them to give and they'll pull against the bit hard as they can. I mean, they'll do everything they can. They can't go left. You won't let them go right. The next thing they may try to do is go up and over. If you take away a horse's directions, meaning the horse can't move forward, backwards, left, or right, you're only giving them one option. That's how you teach a horse to rear.
Today we have the farrier out here today. Miss Sunshine's getting her new shoes on, so that's also exciting. And then we have the vet day to help Walker with any sedation. Also, today is Tuesday. We also have feed delivery coming in. We also have a party today, so organizing it. We have an in and out coming tonight at 6 p.m. So we're hoping everything turn out great.
Good morning. This is Leanne with All Seated in a Barn, and today's a big day out here for one of our events. We're hosting In and Out. They're having a company party and it's going to be so much fun. We do amazing events out here for any of you who may want to have their company events, their Christmas parties, etc. The weather's getting nice and we're going to start rocking it out here all through this beautiful weather. Start coming up in August. It's going to be fabulous. Check us out.
How you control the mind. In fact, we'll do that now as a little training tip. So you always hear me talk about let the horse move their feet, let them move their feet. When I pull that horse's nose around, let's see if I can get him to do it. So now I'm making him move his feet. I'm letting him move his feet, let him move his feet, let him move his feet. Okay, why do I do that? I wanted him to move his feet that time, and he did. The goal with flexion is to get them to stand still and give to bit pressure. The training tip with this about moving their feet, what's the most important part of the horse to control? The poll, shoulders, the barrel, the hip. People always say, oh, you want to control their mind. Well, this is kind of a catch-22. You're right, we do. But how do you control his mind? Well, you want to control their feet. Well, that's true, but how do you control their feet? You control a horse just like you do a car. What do I mean by that? If you control the RPMs in an engine, you control how fast the car goes. If you control the RPMs, you can steer that car under control. Now, how does that apply to the horse? A horse's engine is where? It's in his hips. His hindquarters is the engine. This is all the power. So back to the training tip. How do you control a horse getting scared? You let them move their feet. If you control the horse's hips, you can control his feet. If you can control the horse's feet, you can control their mind. And that's important because you have to understand horses are flight animals. They use these long, fast legs that God gave them, big lungs and large nostrils. Their goal is to run away from fear, not to stand up and fight it. So when a horse gets scared, whether you're on the ground with them or you're in the saddle, they want to move them feet and run away from fear. But if you want to control those feet, you have to control their hips and their hindquarters. That will control their feet, which will control their mind, which will bring them back to center balanced with you. That's the goal. That doesn't mean it always happens. So be careful when you ride, and that's your training tip for the day.
The other horse over there is TC. That's Talia's personal horse, but I've been shoeing him for a long time. Makes it pretty easy shoeing a horse for years and years because you know what you're gonna get, you know his attitude, you know how his feet typically look, so if something starts changing, you know, hey, that's unusual. Or some of the horses we work on, we only work on them for maybe a cycle or two, and after that, you know, we won't see them again, or maybe they have a lot of distortion and stuff and we don't know what caused that. So shoeing a horse, you know, every time for years and years, it's a treat.
Hi, my name is Pollyanna Del Toro. So I come out with PathPoint every other week because we have so many people who want to come out and we have to switch. But I love coming out here. I get anxiety, and coming out here I feel free and I have no anxiety. I just feel like a place I would want to be every day, every time of the day. I love grooming the horses. That's my favorite part.
Hi, I'm Maddie Rogers. I'm a volunteer at All Seated in the Barn. It's Wednesday, so it's our PathPoint day. We have probably like 7 participants and 3 staff members here with us today. We sweep our main entrance of our big barn. We got all of our cobwebs down. They really love helping out here, and it is such a great help. I mean, extra hands are always needed on a barn, and they just enjoy it, and we enjoy having them here. You know, not only physically does it help them, but mentally as well. This is a very therapeutic place. Just touching or petting the animals helps decompress everything that's going on around you and your brain. Makes you think of there's worse things going on in our world than what we have, you know, at home right now. And horses just kind of help you relax and decompress.
Ms. Talia Fisher, and I am founder of All Seated in a Barn, and we are basically the country's biggest auction, but it also operates as an export facility for horses to slaughter. So essentially this weekend what we're doing is trying to fundraise to help as many horses as we can. Our ultimate goal is to keep them out of the hands of the people that ship them to Mexico. It's a lot of work. We're about to load out 6 saves and 2 orphan foals that are going to go to one of our facilities. They just need to get out of here, they need medical attention, and that's just the name of the game. You got to get them healthy and safe.
The best way to support us is always through donations, whether that be product that we need or monetary. And you can do that by joining our Patreon, going to the website, or visiting any of our social media platforms for links on the best ways to help us.